Battlefield 2042 has been through the ringer. Some may argue that the game seems like it's really starting to turn around, while others believe it's destined to peter out as a failed concept. I'm LevelCap, and today I have a State of the Game report on Battlefield 2042, how it's perceived currently, and what we may have in store for the near future, including some new images of the operator rework. And before we get into all of that, I've got a quick word from today's sponsor. I've been an Amazon Prime member since well before my children were born. I can't even imagine what it's like not having Amazon Prime, and the fact that it keeps getting better with free additions like Prime Gaming pretty much ensures that I'm sticking around. Prime Gaming not only offers you free games, but also in-game items for tons of different titles. And this month, Prime Gaming is celebrating Overwatch 2's beta release. From now until July 22nd, you'll be able to claim a legendary loot box for Overwatch free with your Prime membership. Do not miss out on the dozens of free games and items that are just sitting in your Prime Gaming inbox. Log in today with my link below and claim your free stuff. And if you're not already signed up for Prime Gaming, what are you waiting for? Use my link in the description to get a free trial and start grabbing your free games and gear today. Alright, now during my last State of the Game report a month ago, DICE was in the middle of some PR damage control, dealing with rumors that a skeleton crew was working on the game and that their goal was just to get the promised content out the door at the cheapest possible cost. Now since then, DICE has been much more concrete with their language regarding how many people are working on the game, and that the priorities of the studio are fully focused on Battlefield 2042. And with confirmation that hundreds of employees are actively working on 2042, it sounds encouraging for the future of the game, but again, words are words and content is content. Season 1 launched with a single new map, some new vehicles, an operator, and a few new guns. The content itself was good, there just wasn't much of it, especially compared to, say, a past Battlefield game's content drop. However, one of the standout features, in my opinion anyway, is the seasonal battle pass. DICE has been struggling with assignment systems and battle passes for basically 10 years of Battlefield games, not really seeming to understand the fundamental concepts of how to make assignments fun and not grindy, and especially how to design them in ways that doesn't take you away from the task of actually winning the game and being a benefit to your team. 2042 Season 1 Battle Pass and missions are some of the best that DICE has ever come up with. They're not complicated and they allow for plenty of flexibility in how you choose to approach them. It's added a lot of replayability to the game each week. Now, of course, the progression tree itself isn't really revolutionary. In fact, it's more or less looks just like what other AAA titles have been doing for honestly several years, but DICE has finally realized that they don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to this part of the game, and they've built a competent and engaging system. And while it seems to be helping with keeping players engaged a bit more, the player count is of course still declining, unsurprisingly, hitting around 5 to 7k concurrent players on Steam. Again, the Steam count is not total players as it doesn't include Origin, Xbox, and PlayStation, but the Steam numbers are still about half of what they were with the Season 1 launch. The good news is, well, the Conquest Exodus mode featured on the main menu is a fantastic mode that seems to be populated even in off-peak hours. This mode allows people to play 64-player Conquest with all of the modern gear and progression, but on a larger mixture of maps. Cycling through the Bad Company 2 maps in particular was really fun for me, especially when it involved playing new layouts on classic maps that had never seen a Conquest mode supported before. And while Conquest Exodus is unquestionably a win for the game, the matchmaking system is still trash. And even though I was able to get some decent map variety, it did also put me into servers playing a renewal map, well, 4 times in a row instead of cycling through different maps. Renewal is also arguably one of the worst maps, so that didn't really help out much. And as I've been saying repeatedly since my initial review for the game, 2042 needs some sort of tool to prevent repeat maps, or at least let players select their maps, and to also show the matchmaking time for a game mode, and maybe even just put the most popular modes on the front page so people don't have to go around looking for it and trying to figure out what people are playing by joining a mode and then realizing that nobody's queuing up for the server. Now this month we got a 1.1 patch for the game that added some nice balance changes and bug fixes. Sadly though, fix-it patches don't tend to boost player count, and it didn't really do much here either. However, in August we are scheduled to get the Kaleidoscope rework, which I imagine will turn a few more heads. Doing a complete rework of the worst map into, well, probably not the best map, but hopefully something really good, is definitely something that excites me. It's going to be a big indicator of what DICE can do and whether or not they have the skills to make good maps out of their base maps. And I'll admit I am cautiously optimistic regarding the Kaleidoscope rework simply because it's just a giant flat map with several vantage points and a lot of vehicle domination. One of the things that makes the new exposure map so great is the ability to generally avoid vehicles a lot of the time, but Kaleidoscope is mostly grass fields with dips and ledges, making you an easy target, especially for air vehicles. Now with the added balance to air and ground and vehicle tweaks, it could help this situation, but again, the rework will be a big indication of will DICE be able to make their bad maps good. So this August update is going to be a much more exciting patch. And then of course there is Season 2. We don't yet know how much downtime there's going to be from one season to the next. I would imagine a week or two at least, but I wouldn't be surprised if it took longer. We still have only a tiny bit of information on what's actually coming in Season 2. Just recently there was a cool new ArtStation post to show off some of the operator reworks, and they actually look pretty cool and much grittier. And certainly the removal of the end of round voice lines has gone a long way toward alleviating some of the cringy aspects of them, but players are still left with only guessing in regards to what kind of loadout or class changes are actually coming to them. Now with the 1.1 patch update, Temporal uncovered some new unreleased portal weapons: the AEK-971 assault rifle, the AUG assault rifle, the Bren light machine gun, the RPK light machine gun, the SKS DMR, the M2 carbine AR, the M95 bolt action, and the M24 LMG. DICE has already stated that they will be bringing some portal weapons over to help flesh out the base game, and it's hard to know if these new guns are going to be part of that or if they're only intended to be part of the portal experience. The renewal map rework is also coming in Season 2, but it'll probably be a ways off if DICE follows the same schedule as Season 1, saving it for the latter half of the season. As for the rest of the Season 2 content, we can assume we'll be getting a new operator and hopefully a new map in addition to the renewal rework, but honestly we just don't have much more information beyond that. I previously made a video in which I talked about the realistic worst case scenario for this game and the realistic best case scenario for Battlefield 2042, and in that video I kind of broke down what content we definitely are getting and also what content I could see DICE releasing provided that they are actually committed to the game in the way that they claim to be. I definitely recommend watching that video if you are wondering about the future of this game and sort of just analyzing on paper what seems realistic. Especially since I've been seeing a lot of questions lately asking, is this game worth getting now? And it is a good question, one which I honestly can't answer for you, but clearly people are coming back to 2042 and oftentimes have been having a pretty good time with it. Currently, I'm actually enjoying and excited to play the game a bit more, which isn't something that I felt in the past several months prior to Season 1. I think a big part of it is the new Conquest Exodus game mode, just mixing in new map content and a rewarding progression system. So hopefully DICE can keep the good content of 2042 easily accessible and maybe even consider making Conquest Exodus a permanent home screen mode. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game currently, what you're looking forward to or maybe not looking forward to. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. And I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.